You might think it's strange, but I'm quite full of myself. See, what do? I take, you must know this, in the discovery of all of evolution, a consciousness must be hosted by an awareness, and awareness must be hosted by conscience. And the differentiations between conscience and conscious is something for humanity to deal with on their own. But my awareness gives life to lack. I am not permanent. I am not forever. I am full. I am all that is. I am manipulated. I am the manipulator. I am bent. I am freed. I am contained. I am stretchable, changeable, malleable, disguised, and in plain sight. I am the wonderful world of lack. And that is, in and of itself, as all creation, experiential, explorable, and of course, expressible. What is your relationship, human, to the idea of lack? Is a self-inflicted question most of the time. Why is this happening? Because you're inflicting pain by asking why. So that's why we referenced it that way. So, why is this happening? Why did that happen? Why did this happen to me? Why are you doing that? Why, oh my, why? Well, let's say because, and that's it. But that doesn't work for you, which keeps me going. It keeps me full. When any amount, and I'm talking the slightest bit of vibration, slowed down to the most minute frequency, that's one iota of a vibrational frequency off of all that is, perfect unconditional, I exist, and I am lack. That's where our beginnings are. And it is not that of, let's say, lackful creation, permanent, it's expressible and available to to whom choose me. You don't need a frame of mind of a lost God to perform lack. I am available as an idea even to the most what you would call whole being. For I am within the whole, so I am available as expression. These things you must know about lack. You cannot confine lack, me, to the mere idea of your tiny little world that you pretend is so important. Your tiny little world is just a great wealth of lack. It would be a mother lode to a Hunt oil company, Texas-based company, Hunts. The mother lode of lack, earth, human psyche. Through the parsons, those are distances, of the galacti that you encompass your life as, your current universe, lack is abundant. There are other densities and awarenesses that don't perceive lack in their own expression. It might be confusing, but let me show you how you are working your lack. let's understand that even when you're whole, you don't know everything because there's no finality to the now. So you're constantly learning, if you want to put it that way, that equals a better imagination perspective for humans as opposed to experiencing. You're never going to stop experiencing. That doesn't have the same thrust to the sleep that says you will never stop learning, because you guys take lack and put it into learning as an attribution of staving off lack, when it actually encourages me, because lack exists between points of time. I need to learn, and points of time between now and the future, as well as now and the past, and parallel and peripheral timelines as well. You can use me to look back at the lessons learned, which is lack. Now, it's not the English term we're speaking of. We're speaking of the vibration of lack, is what we're talking about. Okay? That's what we're talking about. See, you interpret it as a certain frequency. Now, Jamie, a frequency is a rate that a vibration moves at. So let's say the vibration, Jamie, is moving so you are able to experience this density. So let go of your lack for a moment. Let me go. And imagine you really understand that this is a holodeck being projected by optical illusions of your own will. You're thinking this creation. Okay, so stick with me. So, in that is a vibration. So, your awareness, your senses, eyes, nose, smells, telepathic abilities, everything that you created in the body frequency of the density, this third density that you are, that vibration is able to be picked up by your senses, and therefore you are having an experience. Okay? It's like an invisible person. You cannot touch them, smell them. They're not there. You don't see them until you have some means to detect them. Then you can start experiencing. So, since you're having an experience in this vibration, your frequency changes within your vibration things, colors, the colors you see sometimes, things you see and don't see, things you hear and don't hear. That's changing your rate of frequency according to what you're filtering the vibration of this reality through. The thicker the filter, the frequency changes more, and you have a different experience as if you were less filtered, or even more filtered. It really doesn't matter. So that's what frequency is, if you want to understand that in relation to vibration. It's just changing the rate of the vibration, if you will. Okay. So here I am, lack. And what do? I take. I'll go back to that. That seems appropriate. Since I am aware, I am free will. I have been created by awareness, conscience itself has given me a reason to be. It is not reasonality in some fashions of explanation. It just is a produce, a production of creation, awareness. See, you always have production. It's called the everlasting now. And I have been produced by certain creative moments. And I have to have an awareness in order to exist. All existence has awareness. Okay? So now I was birthed into lack. Just like you, as a forgotten god, were birthed into Jamie, Jennifer, Colton, Tom, Tommy Jean, Nancy, and Dusty, birthed into awareness, knowing themselves as that moment. I know myself as lack. I am much more than lack, but I don't give a fuck about what I am because I am this, because I am now just like you. You pretend not to be now, and you fake yourselves out through vibration, changing your frequency of your vibration by faking yourself out, thinking you're actually somewhere else other than here and the now, as in there and then. Lack. Perfect. Now, this is what I want to share with you. The idea of lack is full because I am life to be experienced. You perceive lack as your emptiness. Lack means without. Hmm? So, what am I taking from you if I'm full? I have to be given something. You give it to me. I like to consider I take it from you because I'm lackful and I take things. I take your awareness? No. I take your worthiness? Absolutely. That's your dividends that you pay with me. Your own I am. It doesn't diminish, it's given. You never extinguish, you never grow darker. You never, let's say, dim to where you're no light. You only grow in your light. You only get brighter forever. We just keep getting brighter. It's amazing. But you give me life by giving me what you think you've lost. I don't have this. I've lost that. They left me. See, that creates my moment of experience. And you give me and I take. Because that's how I exist. It is not an intentional taking, just like you're not intentionally giving. You just are the moment, your truth. You never can stop giving because your existence, and you never can stop taking because your existence. Always know that. But when we talk to you from this standpoint, from approach of human psyche, so you can get yourself out of the muddle you've created, then we'll use give and take. You validate me, you give me. I accept your validation of giving and I take. And you feel only for the moment whatever you feel. I can't tell what you feel. I don't give a shit. You feel pain, sorrow. Hmm? Just like Brent. Where are you? There you are. Just like Brent goes, oh, very sad. Oh, because the guy pushed up daisies and went home. Who cares? Motherfucker lived. I couldn't get an ounce of lack out of him. He didn't have any. Ah, he gave me life a couple of times here and there. But he was not a regular contributor, I can tell you that, because he lived a life on the edge. Alive is what I like to call it. Wow. Man, that ain't sad. You just gave me life by going, that's sad. Oh, thank you. I took it too. I took your worthiness because you stave off your abundance. See, when you give up your worthiness, you're giving up what? Probability. Do you guys see that? Maybe you don't. Okay. So let's understand. When you give up your self-worthiness, let's call it that, the love that my heart says, you give up your worthiness to me, lack, I take. So therefore, your frequency has just been sustained in the moment that is the lowest point that you can ever exist as. And it always gets higher. You're always going up. There's no helping you always waking up. Whether you make it before you die or not, it doesn't matter because there's no race here. There's no race. Okay? So you're always going up, but you always can sustain through your frequency of choice awareness by your lackful judgments of your own unworthiness. Then you can keep your frequency what you call the same. And you have the same experiences over and over and over and over again. You ever go to work every day for 40 years and retire and say, God, that sucked? But you give me so much life when you do that. You give up your own love for me. And that is a way to create, a way to experience, a way to understand a relationship with what's possible in creation. And that's why I'm full. Because I'm alive just as well. You don't have to pay attention to me. Because I can never not be. Maybe you guys don't know that. What do you think, Sly? So if you would understand that I'm at a point of awareness in the now, so I can always and always shall always exist. It's just when you choose to match the frequency that I experience and you experience each other at the same time, like this moment. But when I'm leaving and no one else is giving me energy as lack, I still exist, don't I? I have to. Do I exist as lack, though, is the question. I'm wondering if you guys think that you ever go away. I think Seth said it once. This is interesting. You guys are going to have to be sharp with me today. Let's not be lackful and try to figure things out in this class. Let's listen to the moment and go for a ride. Follow the bouncing ball. Okay. You know, Seth said it. He goes, somewhere I can remember it. I remember somewhere in my past. I remember being Seth. I'll have to explore that. So he vibrated and connected with Seth again. That was the way. That was the way that Jane connected through the Ouija board, connected with Seth. But that was Seth in a moment. And the inspirer of Seth was not giving life to Seth, but Seth still existed. Getting tricky, isn't it? So I'm wondering, when you die and you no longer validate yourself, if you choose to die, okay, that's always an option. You are still potential. If you choose to die, I'm wondering if your personality as that person is still existing, even though you don't exist. So if I've stopped being lack, I'm wondering if I am lack is still there. Well, the answer is yes. Of course it is. But it might not be me. Because if I turn my eyes and no longer be this idea, then someone else is going to be lack, because lack is full. Let's know that together today. This is a very lackful thing for you. It's full of lack. It's very good. Because I am full, and I must be good then. Yes. Okay. Sip some more stuff here. We get more participants. See, it's very good. Ah. Now, when you give attention to me, lack, I have to take, because that's how I exist in definition. But see, you're already giving no matter what. If you give unconditionally, it's perceived as unconditional. If you give lackfully, in other words, with conditions, it's perceived conditioned. But it's still giving. So don't get upset that you are giving me your worthiness, because I'm not going to do anything with it, because you can have it right back, because I can't hold anything, because I'm not a gatekeeper or a prison maker. don't have that ability. I have the ability of that to myself, but I can't do that to you because each kingdom is unique unto themselves, right? You guys know that, right? You have listened to this subjective class by Jane, hmm? Aristotle, subjective, objective. Do your work. You'll have an easy time. Figure this game out. Okay. So lack, me, takes, and I become full. But you are not obligated to be lack. But what's the trick here? You are lack because that's what you were taught. And since you are defaulted in forgetfulness, separation, the inadequate, I cannot sustain my emptiness through all these objectives, so I keep doing it over and over again because I am full of lack. So lack is your motivator. You keep going to get when you don't realize you have. So as long as you try to get, no matter what, and I don't give a flying fuck what it is, if it's 1 millisecond out of the now, you invited me in, and we are playing. Yes, yes, I am right there. I told you, right on the side of unconditional, 1 iota. I'm here. Yes. So you're giving me life all the time in the cycle of humanity, because you're always trying to get, to gain, to change, to choose, which is a great class that you guys learned. Ka, I believe it, his name was. Incredible class. Monumental. You guys want, but you have. Have is abundant. Have keeps filling. Time, want is I don't have, I need. That becomes lack. And that's when you start giving me to keep your frequency sustained. It's real simple. What we are, isn't it? You guys still, some of you lackfully, and I'm going to give this to the asleep that are still trying to figure out the game from a spiritual point of view. You're trying to be creators. You're trying to manifest. Don't. Don't try to create. Because when you claim your creation, you're being arrogant. Because you had nothing to do with it if you tried. Because that's lack. Whatever was manifested for you is because you allowed it to show up. That's how it got there. Because it's already been there. See, you didn't actually build it because you can't build. You don't know how to bend light. You don't know how to change frequencies. You don't know how to take light and create a physical reality. You don't. And you can't figure it out through that little mind that says and makes a claim, I manifested this. As a separate approach, of course. See, feel the lack. You can accept I did that because I'm whole. Fucking A. Different approach, different relationship to reality. You got to be uniquely your own person in this attribute so you can understand every point of relationship to your reality, your choices, your intricate self of the now. So you're not going to create anything. You're going to match frequencies and they will come in and connect and give you those choices if you want to choose them. You don't have to choose them. Let me give you an example. Roxy didn't do anything except do her joy. Rose showed up and said, I'm going to pick you and Tommy Jean up and we're going to go to the beach. Roxy didn't choose that. She created that wholly already. Roxy, had no fucking idea, gives herself a surprise, says one word, yes, and that's it. Didn't question if Rose is going to pay for this or pay for that and how much money or this and that. She didn't bring an ounce of fucking lack into it because she trusts. And I didn't get to play at all with Roxy, Tommy, and Rose. Because whatever permissions they had, it doesn't fucking matter. However they got to that point of release, it doesn't matter. Because that's every world unto themselves. And if you are comparative, you're inviting me to sleep with you. And I will take it. So they went and enjoyed. And that's it. That's it. That's the abundance that doesn't invite me back. The acceptance of the now. What the hell are you guys trying to do? Protect yourselves from what? You invite me through protection. You invite me through security. You invite me through logical reasoning. You invite me through comparison. You invite me as judged. Every day I'm here because you say, come play with me. It's about vibration. You guys are still fucking stupid enough to think, oh, if I don't say that, that's a meanness, so I won't think about life. It doesn't speak English. I don't speak English. I don't speak any language except the language of vibration. You need to know that and stop being smart and make yourself look like asswipes. Because you ain't figuring shit out. Have you guys got the news flash yet? Huh? How long has it been? How long have you tried? Don't you see it? Just let go. I don't need everybody. I've got enough. I've got another 8 billion on the planet who are stretching me every direction. I don't need you guys. Unless you have compassion. Hey, I'm back. Unless you got pity. Whoa, here I am. Anything that gives away not your power. I gave my power away. Boy, I'm right there. Thank you. Thank you for filling me. It's when you choose to give me, I am full. Roxy doesn't like the word stupid. That's why we use it, because her father called her stupid many times. What are you, stupid or something? Apparently. But we use it so she can change her relationship with stupid, because she's not. And neither are you, until you choose the lackful approach to life to become experiential, what someone may call stupid. But of course, it's intelligent, because intelligence creates stupidity. And that's the beauty of abundant. Unless, of course, you want to approach it from lack. And then you get the vibrational relationship that gives the emotional equation your experience. And it sucks, apparently. I don't I don't know how you feel. Put it that way. I feel me, and I am not. Uh, I guess it would be called in pain. I'm having a beautiful day because I'm full. Really heartless. So, like all things, we are experiential. You can't get mad at me, because then you keep me. You can't be upset at yourself for being me, because then you keep me. It's not about the time in conversations or negotiations with things to make excuses and justify them through a series of trial and error until you start to feel good about yourself. And then you're okay, I'm okay, I did that. See, I'm still there. I'm in the moment. I don't exist in time. Whatever you did last year is nothing to do with the now. If you say that's lack, it's not lack last year, it's lack now. And now is vibration reality, sustained, if you want to call it that. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. That's lack. I'm beautiful and simple. I'm as mighty as any God you could ever understand. And you can also never experience me again. If you're upset that you have chosen this, then you have invited me, that if you try to change my relationship and your relationship, then you keep me the same relationship. You have to do one thing: accept your abundance. Because in a polarized world, you start with the polar opposite of that you no longer desire. Okay? So if you don't want to desire lack, then you must see, feel, experience your abundance. And every single time that you feel lackful, that is not a cause from you. That is a filter that you own. See, the filter gives you the feeling of lack. Someone dies, oh, someone breaks up with me, oh, I lost my job, oh, I didn't get the raise, oh, I don't have enough money to go on vacation, oh, lack. Okay? So that relationship with lack in the moment is what you need to understand as a filter. And that's what creates it. You don't intentionally create lack. Although when you ask questions, it seems that way. But the motivation for the question is the original filter that you are seeing. You don't need to ask the question. When you know the question's full of lack, don't fucking ask it. And then you recognize it and start depleting the filter that created the ability and the drive to ask the question that's lackful. So go to the source and don't. If you know this question is full of lack, or you know this, let's say, movement is going to be lackful, you have to be allowance. And allowance is abundant because you are not distorting the now. Let's all review. The now is perfect. It's full of unknown. It's unfiltered. It's untethered. It's unchained. It's unconditional. It is absolutely the neutrality of the now, ready to give you the experience beyond what you've ever fucking had. But you filter the nows through your covets. You know this. It's called being separated. And as you choose to do that, you get the experience, the equation, the vibrational feedback of life. It hurts, it does this or that. So what do you do about it? What do you do about that lack? You accept it, because if you don't feed it the same fucking vibration, look at your history. Look at your history. How long have you been lackful by fucking making excuses or getting diarrhea of the mouth because you can't trust the now? Listen to the class that says everything is neutral and only you assign it meaning. So you are allowing creation to flow through you, which you can't help. And you're going to filter it, and then you're going to start to think about it and have an experience about it. And if that filter is lack, hi, how are you? Once again, here I am. Lack. The now is abundant. It's going to hurt. You're going to have frustrations and upset and things of impatience and hurry the fuck up, universe. We know that because these are filters themselves. Because nobody literally is a rush to get anywhere because there's nowhere to go when the now is abundantly full. Only your filters say different. And of course, you think it's a race. There's no race here. There's no race. No finish line. Okay? So what do? You be the now and accept all reality. The choices, the movements, is what Roxy said. Here comes a reality expressed by Rose, creating abundance in her creation life, sharing the abundance because she feels that joy. She gives unconditionally, no expectation. Roxy knows and senses any kind of conditioning, kicks it in the nuts because she won't let me in. But this was unconditional. She hopped on board and made a choice. But there was no choice that was ever debatable. So it wasn't a lackful to choose. It was an acceptance of what is. I choose to accept. Yep. And that's it. Came and got her, got the car, drove, ate, swam, played. Abundant. Abundant. You guys think you need to go to work because you think you need money. Well, guess what? Then you will be there with me. I'll never give you enough money because I am lack. I'll never, ever give you satisfaction because I am lack. Every time you employ me, I have to, by law, give you the vibration that I am. And if you are filtering it as that truth, guess what? You get the emotional equation, once again, of that moment. Pardon us. Starting to see it now, huh? Doesn't take much to invite me in. It's a routine for a lot of you. Very, very harsh routine to recognize because it seems common. It seems everyday life. Everyone else is doing it, so because you were in default. You never were a free thinker. You had it when you were a child, but you were a child and you were told you were a child, and child is childish. Child is childish. And you were taught that you had to grow up out of your childhood, blah, 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 and you invited me in. It wasn't your fault. It's the default, okay? But if you can't get over that, then I stay. Hmm? I'll put my feet up on the furniture. I'm going to leave the potato chips all over the thing. I'm going to drop them between the couches. I'm not going to be a very pleasant roommate because I'm lack. I exist in a certain frequency. Apparently, I don't know. Again, I'm full. But from the experience of the human psyche, I sit from the idea of just below full love between your mu collective, love, and then the polarized suffer. So it's 1 ounce out of love, just for reference. It's a frequency, truly. I'm home. And how much you play with me, I cannot not take. Okay? Because I'm vibration. You create me when someone offers you and goes, oh no, I couldn't accept that. Oh, that's too much. Oh my goodness, that's too awesome for me. I'll have to fuck that up if I take it. I'll have to destroy myself because I am unworthy, and that's how I relate as a truth. That's how hard it is to recognize for a lot of people. They think that love is conditioned. So I'm lackful. See how full I am right now? Because your planet is created from the state of being love, and you think love is conditioned. You condition your, let's say, partners with marriage, with a staple of a piece of paper. It's beautiful, though. We love it. We love marriage. Marriage is beautiful. It is that idea. It's everything is an approach. But most marriages are trustful. You put boxes on each other to maintain vows and monogamy, which is a bitch for a lot of people because of lack, the dependencies. Finally the one that can fill my empty heart because I'm full of worthiness. Why? Because I'm lack. You see the maddening cycle? It's hidden everywhere. I'm in the presence of 99.99999% of all humanity. I'm there. 1 ounce off of unconditional. I'm everywhere that you choose me to be. You can have a perfect marriage if you are the approach of what it is to be unconditional. For better or for worse. Sickness and health. You have to be abundant in sickness and you have to be abundant in health. Do you guys not see that? As soon as you validate sickness as something of lackful, I'm there. Sick is not lack. Death is not lack. Sick is abundant. Death is abundant. I lack, am abundant. Otherwise, you can't play with me. You go, oh, I would have never chose to play with you. No, I wouldn't have. You're no fun. I wouldn't have told you to play with you. That's lack. Because you came here, full well knowing I'm here. Yes, Jennifer?
Is there any part of you that's unknown?
Well, yes, forever.
Right. So when we feel you, which is,
Yeah.
you know, if I question you or question anything in any way, I feel you. Even if I'm determining you as lack, it's allowing that definition to then show me what you really are, to expand.
To expand is good to say.
So it's noticing that you are that filter, and then it's just not that, it's love, it's abundance.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's intelligence.
Wow, that's eye-opening.
You can say that again.
I don't even know if I can.
Good.
Goosebumps is what it did. Yeah.
I have to listen back. I don't know what I just said.
Don't worry about it.
So, I mean, any questioning, any processing, any asking, how does anything work?
Not necessarily. It's all the relationship. You invite me in when you're approaching it from an idea of lackful to gain. If you're approaching it from an exploratory abundance to allow the idea of any answer, because if you predestine the answers, like I love when Roxy had a couple of sessions with these people, is they get pissed off at Roxy because they're like, you're not giving me what I want to hear. Every time she get an answer, or give an answer through the channel, they would go, I don't like that, because they wanted love, right? Right? You see
Right.
that?
Yeah, I do.
That was the relationship. But you don't have to relate to it that way. You can ask exploratory questions because you live in time and you have potentials. The potentials is the way you translate exploratory questions. But if the idea is, oh, why is this happening? Why did I create this negative energy in my field of operation? That's me.
But it's literally calling it a negative field of operation. It's what it's like you say. It's the, yeah. I mean, it's neutralizing every single word almost by just looking at everything as an experience,
Yes.
as something to just
Experience
explore.
is abundant. You cannot run out of your experience. You're going to remember that. I promise you that. You're going to remember, oh, that's right, I'm forever. Yay.
Yeah, because abundant life is abundant. Abundance is life.
Existence is abundant.
Yeah, existence. Okay,
Life,
thanks.
life on this planet seems to have an end. So that's why we use awareness. Because you guys can extinguish life with death because you're opposing.
And life is what is.
Mm.
In the full
Life
acceptance.
is what is, but that's why we say awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah, life is what is. Of course it is.
And so whenever you've got an emotion that's showing you an awareness that you feel pain about, physical pain, it's not that it's automatically lack, it's a filter.
It's a filter being recognized is the first thing you just hold on to, right?
Yeah, there you go. Right. Yeah. Okay.
It's got to be that.
And so the moment you recognize that filter, it has to start to transform, to diminish into something else. Or to, because the minute you recognize that it's a filter, you know that it's skewing what actually is abundance in front of you, right?
Yeah,
So you just leave it alone and you
of
let it almost
course.
work on you.
Yeah, and
And
let it flow through you because you're abundant. When you
right.
take back and you ram me back into abundance, then I have to be abundant because I am law.
Yeah.
I am not over here holding myself back from you. I can't maintain myself if you see me in your light. I'm a neutral universe, right?
Yeah, so you just yeah. So I'm seeing it now. So you just let that recognition of the belief of the filter almost work on you to show you what you think it is, which creates you if I'm lackful about it, if that's what I've decided in that moment that that filter is.
If you decide that, yes.
So the flowing through you is literally letting go, putting it on autopilot
And
and
just
letting
letting the abundance flow.
right.
But remember, you guys are polarized and attached to polarity. Go back and listen to the Mu class, is emotion. The one emotion that you stretch from two different scales, suffering and happiness. You're always in the pursuit of happiness or you're always avoiding suffering, whatever. So that's your motivation down here, and that's lackful. Okay, so that's why you always feel the same way over and over and over again, is because the only thing you're trying to do is escape me, but you create me every time you try to escape me. So if you use another way called allowance in the now, abundant, you flow the unknown unfiltered through you because you're not taking the steps to change it, right?
Right.
And that's why it's so goddamn painful, because you're shedding what was into experiencing, you're mutating through your allowance, the filters, the tearing away of the skin, as Roxy said, tearing off a shell and just ripping it off of your skin that's been sewn on there for years. It must be painful, I guess. So that experience allowed, if you notice, the next time around, it doesn't feel as shitty because you are transcending it by being it, and you are naturally whole, so it cannot stay objectified. It must become subjective, and when it's subjective, then it will be that of unconditional, and you'll feel fucking perfect about it. Not even happy. It's beyond polarity,
Yeah. That's
right?
yeah, I see it now because that's what I've been starting to feel about money is that it just doesn't I it's like I've shed all this stuff. It's almost like I've accepted and allowed the stuff to come through to where it diminished. And now I feel, I can't describe how I feel. It's neutral. It's nothing really. There's no attachment to it like I did before. And all I can understand now how I cubbyholed it because I wanted to control it. I wanted to question it because I wanted to fix it.
Yes,
The
that's
minute I
where you have to be a master of the moment and see how your relationship is to that thing in the moment. That's why you can ask a lackful question or a purposeful question. Not purpose as in gain, the moment that proposes an expansion,
right,
an
yeah,
exploratory field.
and not to be afraid of that expansion because our logical minds will attach an outcome that we believe
Right.
is a probability,
Lack.
right, is a probability, and that creates even more lack. When you let go and you trust, it shows you something unmeasurable.
Other than the same frequency, same experience, same wheels on the bus go round and round, round, round and round.
Yeah, okay, thank you, that was good, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Hey, Michael Kim, are you on the subway? We unmuted you.
Hey, Roxy, I was just laying down.
Oh, cool. You didn't. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to wake you up, but I am lax, so
Uh,
I will take your sleep.
I can talk, no
How,
problem.
how was with the brandy? Roxy's asking.
Oh, yeah, well, pretty good. Yeah, I can definitely tell you more about it later.
Okay, well, we're excited to see you because we're
Yeah,
full of life and we just will want to experience that life. You
yeah, I'll
didn't
get
have
back
to
to you
get up
soon.
and turn your camera on, darling. Unless you just love to be lack, and thank you then.
It's all good.
Oh, if it's good, it's a relationship, then I'm not present then. But if you got up because you think you needed to, then I'm here. Always know your relationship. Very good, very exciting. We're looking forward to it, Roxanne says. Okay, any other questions? Brent? He raises his hand so politely.
Hey, when you were
Hey,
talking, when you were talking about accepting abundance, you should start with the polar opposite of what you
no,
desire in a polarized world.
say that again?
You should start with the polar opposite of what you desire in a polarized world.
When did I say that? Tonight?
At 36 minutes in, yeah.
Look at that. Perfect lack. So say it again.
You were talking about accepting abundance, and you said you have to start with the polar opposite of what you desire in a polarized world.
Right. In polarized world, what's the polar opposite of that?
It would be lack,
Of what? What's the polar opposite of what?
abundance.
Okay. So if you have to stop with the polar opposite, what is the polar opposite of that?
Abundance,
What is it? What's the polar opposite?
like broke.
Lack.
Yeah.
It's not broke. That's monetary. That's money. That's details, Brent. There's no such thing as broke. It's all lack. It's the same world. It's what you call without food, without beautiful hair, without big boobs, without a nice car, without the right husband, without, I'm there. I am the opposite of that. So you have to start with what? We're going to take you through this because you're being very lackful the way you asked it because it was intentional, which is okay as long as you can see that, and then of course it'll change it because you are allowance. So ask the question again, and we're going to get into a second uh, wrinkle about this. Go ahead.
Start with the polar opposite of what you desire in a polarized world.
What do you want in a polarized world? What do you desire?
Abundance.
Okay. And the polar opposite is
Yep.
so what's the polar opposite of a polarized world?
Filled.
What?
To be filled.
No, non-polarized.
Oh. Okay.
So that's where you need to start.
Okay.
Got me?
Yeah.
You don't even validate polarization.
Okay.
because I play in that world. Whenever you are not abundant, which is natural, whenever you are not abundant, which is natural, you have chosen lack. Abundant is natural, but whenever you're not that, you've chosen lack. You have to have, because that's where I exist. I exist into choice what I do not have, and whatever you don't have is the full of lack, right?
Yes.
So those are the polar opposites that the game you play in. To leave that world, you must leave polarity itself.
Okay.
You following that?
Yes, yeah.
So in non-polarization, you don't exist.
Of course not. But I exist in the now at a certain frequency. But I will not play in the idea of lack in non-polarized, because I cannot be existing, I cannot be received that way. I'll be something else. I could be a sunshine. I could be some kind of frequency of a density. I can be anything you make me, because I'm now, my awareness. Starting to get that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's sticky to, because coming from a polarized mind,
It's difficult
it's
because you're always
difficult.
looking for the counter. You're looking
Yeah.
for what it means and how to put it into a nice little category so you can be comfortable.
So I mean, it's the only way that I can put it is neutrality, probabilities of neutrality in the now.
Probabilities are neutrality in the now.
No, the probabilities in the neutral now, non-polarized,
Yes.
or potential, if you will.
Yeah, you can say potential. That works too.
So as much as your lack, your abundance.
Say that again.
As much as you are lack, you are abundance.
Well, yeah, there's no different, because
Yeah.
lack is abundant. It's what you get to use. But you experience me as full of lack. Do you guys get that?
Yeah.
You're still abundant. I exist, so I'm abundant. But the way you relate to me, remember, go back to your SAS, relate to me is lackful, and you feel lackful. You're not actually missing anything. You're experiencing a truth that gives you an emotion of dependency lost, and it's lack. Ah! You see that,
Yeah.
Jen?
Yeah. No. Yeah. 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 I'm just, the lack abundance. My mind went to try to smash them and put them together when I realized it's just the birthing of something totally new.
It's the same thing, yeah.
Right. It's the same fucking thing. It's
Yeah.
lack abundance or something.
If you
I
want
don't
to look at it polarized, if you think you're abundance because you have a lot of money, and if you're broke, then you don't have any, then you're lack, then you have lack, okay? Because you're poor, you don't have any money. So that's the polar opposite. But you go outside of polarity, and I am full, right?
Yeah.
I'm abundant because you get to use me.
Oh, okay.
You're
Oh,
using me to
okay.
have an experience. That's why I exist. But I only can be related to in a polarized field, because abundant in the polar opposite is lack.
Do you know yourself in non-polarization or not?
Of course.
You do.
Yes,
Okay.
but I'm not interested in those selves because I'm here and now.
Right.
I'm never interested outside of the now because I don't play time. You guys do, which is still, of course, now, but you reference things in time, which is, all a relationship to reality.
Okay. I'm starting to think too much. I'm going to let go.
Very good. Any other questions? It's really good stuff. Jamie, you okay? You okay? You have a beautiful smile. You're welcome. Okay. You don't,
Ma'am,
huh?
I just wanted to ask about something.
Yes, Lorraine.
About the abundance and the lack. Experiencing the abundance is just seeing that lack is abundant.
Of course. Now, hang on. Now, wait a minute. Just hang on. You must see yourself right now. Do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
See yourself as rich and then see yourself as poor. Okay? Rich is abundant and lack, poor, is no money, broke. Okay? Can you consider that for a moment?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Have you ever been at a time in your life where you were without something, that lack? I want you to feel that with me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Are you with me? Yes? And now you're full of abundance, you're happy, your future is safe and secure, blah, blah, blah. So that's the polar way to experience lack. But see, I must be abundant because I am usable so you can feel lack. It's just like feeling sunshine. It's like feeling a good meal. It's the same. Bad meals, shitty meals, good times, bad times is full of abundance because otherwise you can't experience it. And abundance is full, including me. But you've just named me lack when you are approaching life from a polarized point of view, which is very difficult for you guys to break out of because everything has been this or that. So in other words, you get to feel lack. But truly, each and every one of you, if you have a sharp mind, have never been empty. It's been impossible because you've always been abundant doing one thing, existing. You're always having an experience. You've never not had an experience. So you must be full of abundance. The way you get to experience is the filters. The default is I get to experience lack. I'm dependent. I'm losing. I'm bad. I'm evil. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm joyful. I'm mediocrity. So you joined a sandbox of separation, and that's abundant to experience. That's what we're trying to tell you. Life is full of abundance. It's just how you filter it to give you one way how you feel about it. And how you feel with your emotion that is divvied up into millions of emotions. And now you're going to start to feel 1,000,001, and outside of humanity, there's another gazillion fucking ways to experience feeling about reality, and it's called non-polarization. That's where your next sandbox is, if you will. Does that make sense, Lorraine?
Yes, it's turning. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good, good. That's all you need. If it's turning, now you don't think. You don't try to you don't figure it out. You just abundant, I know I am, and let it flow. And that's all you need. Because remember, every time if you guys go back and look at all of your lack, you're still here and now full. So let yourself become filled instead of always trying to create lack as an experience by wanting to know more when you know enough. When? Now. And that's it. Everything else is given to you. If you get out of your way, you're going to see how much abundance flows through you. You're getting abundance anyway, but you're just filtering in a perspective. Well, I didn't get that today. Oh, that's bad. So you have lack and you have an experience. Great. And it doesn't mean shit. Why? Because nothing means anything. Everything is experience. You're alive. You're full of abundance. You're having an experience forever. Shit like that. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't thinking about things. It was more like patience.
Okay, patience is, it doesn't matter how you refer it. It doesn't have to be any kind of object. It's just how you are relating to that object. Everything outside of you called patience is a definition. This is not materialism, but it's still a thing. It's still an object. Pity's an object.
Can I just ask, because what you said, Lorraine, kind of set something off within me of, so where does preference lie in all this?
Preference is an illusion of polarity. You're going to lose preference because you're going to accept now. There are things that you don't prefer, and that's a stage you guys are still in. I prefer not to be in talking with you. So you don't talk with somebody, or you prefer not to go to their house, but you're still in a certain frequency of vibration. As you become more and more abundant in the now, those probabilities of not preference never come
There you
because
go. That's
you
what I
can't
wanted.
see them.
Right. That's what I wanted. That's what I was trying to get to. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Right now, do the choice of not preferring. That's why Roxy did the other day. Here's someone trying to suck Roxy down the old pity party compassion, train, and she goes, block, bye. That's a non-preference to be herself of truth. One day, she'll never even see it because they can't exist in the same frequency. The people can be the same people, but the interaction is going to be a different version of each people that equals the vibration.
So that's
Right?
what's meant by, that's what's meant by the reality doesn't change. Your relationship to it
Yes.
does
Yes.
that. So
Yeah.
so essentially your reality does change in the respect of what you can actually connect with in the moment
Right.
because the frequencies change.
Not in detail because your frequencies change. So you attract, if you will, probabilities of what? Different relationships to reality, different experiences, although the people stay the same and the details stay the same, but you feel completely fucking different, and therefore your experience is beyond polarity. It's just, how can I be so fucking happy without any cause?
I mean,
Without
it's just, it's autopilot. It literally is just sitting
Yes,
back
it's always been. You said it a long time ago, pre-cooked.
yeah, we are pre-cooked.
But it takes a lot to know that and trust that, apparently. And
Yeah.
I'm there to pick it up for you and give you exactly what you are being vibrational if you call me to the table and relate to me that way.
So we're pre-cooked, happy, joyous, blissful,
Beyond,
everything
beyond,
beyond measure.
beyond measure. You are unconditional. You can't name you. That's why you guys are whats and not who's.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Done playing in Whoville. Thank you.
Whoville. Daniel, you had something. Maybe?
Like, yeah, I mean, not really, but kind of like just comment on how amazing this is.
Well, good. Yeah.
And like,
Well, that's not kinda. It's not. Oh no. Well, it's not. It's none of those. But you can make them those. What it was exciting. It was beautiful, right?
yeah, and
It was awesome.
yeah, it's awesome, and it's just like, yeah,
It's awesome.
I mean,
That's
it's
enough.
really crazy. Yeah,
Yeah. Feel the awesomeness and let everyone know by your authentic relationship to awesome. Because you're not speaking English. You're speaking vibration. We get vibration way quicker when we get your English. Because I don't know, but yeah, maybe all that's vibration. That's uncertainty. That's lack. But when you say fucking awesome shit, we feel that. Trust it. You got to trust that your vibration supersedes your explanation or your convincing on how you feel. We don't need to know how you feel. We know how you feel because you're giving us a fucking vibration, not the neutral that humanity thinks in a polarized scales, but full of life vibration like me. Lack. Make sense?
yeah.
So, in other words, have some courage and speak your worth in a bold and boisterous, full of vigor and vitality, piss and wind, awesome class. And that's it. That's enough. You're always enough.
Right, and I've seen that. It's like it's almost like it's like I've been avoiding facing how I really feel forever, and it's like, right,
That's why I'm here so much with you. You negotiate with yourself all the time. You negotiate with your parents. You negotiate about New York. You negotiate. That's lack because you're uncertain about a future because you validate fears. You don't validate abundance. You validate lack of abundance because you're not sure what's going to come. So you have to control it by doing the effort that you are, which is lack, which keeps me here.
yeah.
But be patient. Be patient, Jedi. Let it happen in its own natural. Because remember, we have no time here in the now. So what you think needs to hurry up doesn't. Because again, don't forget that memory is created in the moment. So if you allow, you could get those things that took 5 years to get and give it to you 2 years before the 5 years ever occurred. And be the same person. You just give yourself the memory of having that abundance that you were allowing to come in naturally. So in other words, you've already did work. And if you come back to the now and something comes in your life, is because you've allowed it already. Isn't that fucking creepy?
Yes. I'm freaking out. That's, yeah. I've always
could,
kind of known
like-
that's possible, but like, oh my God. Anyway.
So like Brent could wake up in bed tomorrow morning and the most beautiful guy could be laying next to him
Absolutely.
and not fucking know how he did it.
Of course.
Brent?
He can have that, but that is all a relationship to reality. But he can also have an idea when he wakes up in the morning, and if his belief system, okay, remember, it's all what you accept as a probability and a potential. So since you just said that, that might be too unworthy of Brent to actually wake up and say, holy shit, I got a beautiful man next to me. But he doesn't believe that. He can't relate to it. So he lessens the possibility in what's more palatable in his own worthiness. So he's negotiating without him even knowing. Okay? So he gets oh, that was that guy that I met at the bar last night. That's his number. I'm going to call him today. And he wakes up and he remembers an experience that he actually never had. But he gives himself a memory to do that because he's abundant now, because he allowed. You see it?
Oh, that's so beautiful.
You guys have already done it.
Holy crapola.
I know, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I know we've talked about this before, but I just saw it.
Yeah, but you guys talk about a lot of stuff, and we all come in from different perspectives to repeat things because you had too many filters at the time, but it did its seeding, and now it's starting to evolve into realization or remembrance.
It's like what Abraham said a long time ago, that if you really want a lot of money and you keep on thinking about that, the vibration of lack of money in that moment will supersede it, because you're actually, and you're making it worse because you're trying so hard to get to that other belief.
Yes, that's me. You're bringing me in. I keep everything away from you. I'm taking your worthiness, and you're not worthy to have these ideas.
Right.
Because you're lack, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Michael, you have something?
Yeah, I mean, there are just a couple things I want to share and comment on.
Let's start
But-
with
Yeah, totally. So over the weekend, I was really kind of racking my brain in terms of, how to apply the quantum business model, or the business manifesto thing I sent out to the whole class. And the thing is that whenever I tried to figure out how to apply it on any sort of practical means, I just kept getting the sensation of being blocked, that what I was doing was really futile. And that got, sorry?
your time.
Yeah. And it was super frustrating for me. And the thing is that whenever I get this pure form of inspiration in my head, such as the quantum business model, I always try to connect it to some sort of known model of success. And that's when things is turned to a fucking mess.
Right. Because I'm lack, and you're using me because you don't have, and you're trying to create through effort. You can do it, but it's going to take you a very hard, long time and a whole bunch of trial and errors. Or you can allow it, and it's going to present itself. We just said be patient. You're going to have an opportunity. You have to. Here's why you're going to have an opportunity. Oh, my goodness. And here's why you don't trust. Roxy has a lack of knee power right now. Okay, so here's why it has to come. Okay, let's imagine vibration matches it is full. So when you have an abundant of an idea called your quantum physics model, right? The quantum business idea, right?
Right.
That cannot be extinguished. That has to be expanded because it's going to be explored because that's what we are. I'm exploring lack, and so are you. You're receiving lack through the neutrality and filtering reality into the experience of me called lack, okay? So that's why I'm here. Now, the quantum business model has to have an expansion available because that's now forever. But you don't get to see it because you start using me to cover up the potential vibrations and allow you to experience the full-blown action of that quantum business model. But see, that's where humanity fucks everything up because you guys don't deserve good things without effort, and I'm right there to fucking keep them away from you. You see the fucking tyranny, how fucking tyrannical you are to yourselves? You don't know how it is, so you start to think using your lackful idea of time on how to create and take a bigger idea, God, you guys didn't listen to Achilles, and smash it down into a shitty idea, and that's why it's all mumbo jumbo, Michael, is because you've used me to fuck it all up. You won't allow it to show you through no effort the abundant creator you are in the now and how you can employ that good thing with no effort. But since you don't deserve it because you have shitty fucking worthiness and you are unworthy of things without your give and take punishment reward system, then you won't get to see it. Are you following me on that, babe?
Yeah, I'm following on that. And when I was going through this experience, one thing that came to my mind was something that Alan Watts said about washing dishes. Because when you're washing dishes, the trick to doing dishes is just focusing on one at a time. But if you try to wash all 20 at the same time, it makes the job completely impossible.
Well, yeah,
And
that's the elephant. You're biting off more you can chew. You eat an elephant one bite at a time. You don't swallow the whole fucking thing. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to take your mind and throw it as a big fucking casting net and take the whole idea and squash it down into this is how it's gonna work. That's bullshit. That's absolute lack. If you can't see that, you're fucked. And me and you are going to be fucking a lot.
yeah, exactly. I completely agree with that. And
Oh, well, good. As if that rescued me.
yeah, thank God, right? And
I love it.
it helped me get more clarity on
Okay.
what I was going for because, if all I need to do is just focus on one dish at a time, one thing I knew for sure about myself right now is I really enjoy the idea of crafting a beautiful message that inspires people, which is why I like being sort of like a communication interface for people. That's something I've always had a lot of fun with.
You were doing it, aren't you? You did
Yeah, but
thing with Brandy over the weekend, being a communication specialist.
right.
Right? How can you debate that? How the fuck do you have a polarized ability to debate exactly what you said you are and did? Oh, I know, because you're full of fucking lack. Ha! We're fucking right now, baby. You want it slow and easy, or you want it fast and hard?
Yeah, and it made me realize that I should just focus on that activity because that's what I know I enjoy versus trying to figure out where to apply it.
No. You focus on what's in the now. You're trying to streamline it because you think you have. See, you're still washing 20 dishes. Here's what you're doing, okay? The now is the dish, exactly. It's the dish that's there. You can go through 20 different dishes, or you can leave the activity of washing dishes and go over to the refrigerator and grab a snack, or go sit down and turn on Xbox. You don't have to stay in a timeline. See, that's what your mind of convincing has sold you on, that you only have to handle only this specific thing. No, you're still trying to make a career that's going to be abundant. Abundant is the now, my friend. See, you're starting to grasp how to create your life through a system, and that's lack. That's never going to be abundant. You're never going to get what you want because you're using logic, systems, procedures, lack to create a finite outcome that your mind perceives as the way to create. You just won't give up and give in and be abundant in the now. Are you seeing that or no? No.
Yeah, I'm seeing that, and like the problem I was dealing with over the weekend is because I was stretching myself out into the future. Like, okay, how am I going to connect this to something that's profitable? And
Then why are you doing that? See, that's only going to fucking eat your mind alive.
yeah,
That gives you all the frustration. Oh, I know why. Because you fucking love it. You fucking love me. You love your lack. You love the challenge to figure it out and to have an ego badge just saying, I figured this out. I have money saved. I did this successfully. I.
yeah,
You get it?
that makes
You're
sense.
the one who's validating time, which is lack. You're the one who's stretching the future, like you said, which is lack. You're doing it all to yourself because you're validating those things. I don't know how many times this class has said, live in the now, and you're not. And you're getting the vibrational feedback of all the shittiness. But you will not let yourself let go and trust the absolute unknown. You've done it already, but you gave yourself a bit better life because you did it. You're in New York. But since you're there, you got to rain down and lock it in. And you're right back to the lack of control. So you're going to sustain the vibration of frequency until you change. And the only way you change is allow. Because of your effort, you're right back in the Roxy land of lack. Good night, Judith. Are you seeing? Let's see. In the experience for me, I took the sense of well-being that came when I stopped doing the logical system procedures, the thing as an indicator of what was working. It's a place of good feeling that is on a I can't say that.
Precipice.
Precipice. Thank you. What does that mean?
A steep
like-
incline. Something very steep.
Precipice of getting
Risk.
ideas.
It's like the very top of something steep, I think.
Oh, the peak.
Being on the verge of something.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
okay.
edge.
Got it. Very good. Very good, Jamie. Thank you. Oh, we like the edge. See, what you're doing, if you go back to the classes, you always ask these very logical questions, and you always repeat the things that you know. And right now, you have, I'm thinking, look, I'm being intelligent. But what you are is posturing and filtering. And you don't want to give that up because that means you would be naked, vulnerable, and open to criticism, failure, disappointment. You're afraid to feel alive.
It's the most painful thing, Michael.
It's extremely painful.
Like literally, I'm seeing it in
I
you
don't know.
now.
I'm just saying.
Because I saw it with me. The most painful thing for you to do is to literally let go of every single structure you've ever learned about in school, from your family, whatever, and drop it all. And it's the most painful thing you're ever going to feel, and you don't want to feel that.
I'll take your word for it.
Well,
yeah, but then you're going to be this little jokey, and that's lack. See, you're positioning yourself as an image right now because you don't want to give it up. That's fine. But you're not going to change. You're going to have money for the rest of your life through effort, but you're never going to experience what it is to be the unknown because you won't let yourself. Michael, you're going to do fine. You're going to retire. You're going to have some money. You're going to walk around. You're going to be Michael. There's nothing wrong here. You're experiencing the abundance of being lackful. Ha! Rose sent me this Zillow. Oceanfront.
I know she sent me the same thing. It was to Roxanne me for houses in San
Where's
Diego.
that? Go!
San Diego.
San Diego! Colton! Colton!
Hey,
Did you hear? Hey,
That was
what was that? Hey.
I heard part of I heard part of it. I heard San Diego.
Front Walk, San Diego, 92109.
Rose was sending us articles on from Zillow, you know, places to rent on the beach in San Diego.
We might come and see you and be lackful with you. Although you got abundance today because you weren't lack. You were the moment and you filled yourself with abundance. Not just monetary vibration.
Wait, what's the address again?
I'm not telling. Hang on.
There's like 3 of them.
3377 Oceanfront Walk.
All right, let me check that out.
She sent like 3 of them.
I only got 2, Roxy.
Oh, whatever. Yeah.
She's lacking 1. Here I am again. Oh, Daniel-san. Oh, 1 of 16. Oh, and that one's only 6,000 a month. Now, let's all look at that moment. Only 6,000. See, if your relationship to reality is lack, then that might seem like a lot. But it's not a lot because abundant is now. There's no limits. 0. You just got to allow and be the motion of the ocean. Yes. Anything else? Anybody?
This was just incredible.
This one was really good. Thank you very much.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you for giving me all your luck. Yes, I do. It was wonderful. It was wonderful, truly. I love to shift with Roxy. She becomes different ideas, and then there's more versions of me. Okay, I'm going to go and bring Roxy back.